Hello, and welcome to episode 63 of Daryl Show Your Work. And continuing on with my dive into AWS, into the AWS application. In this episode, I'll be provisioning and maintaining AWS resources with CloudFormation. And what CloudFormation is, it's an AWS service that lets users model and set up AWS and third-party resources using code. It's also an infrastructure as a code tool that automates the creation and management of resources like EC2 instances, S3 buckets, and Dynamo database tables, which I'll be doing in this video minus the Dynamo database table. So I'm going to be provisioning and maintaining those EC2 instances and S3 buckets. So the first thing that I need to do in order to get started, I need to create a new CloudFormation stack. And that's pretty much a collection of AWS resources that I'll manage as a single unit. All right, so in order to get started, I'm gonna go up here to the top in the search bar and I'm gonna just type in CloudFormation. Give it a little bit of time here to load. All right, so I am going to be creating a new CloudFormation stack. So in order to do so, I'm going to go all the way here to the right, click Create Stack, and I'm going to choose with New Resources in the standard stack. All right, as far as prerequisites, I'm going to leave that the same. As far as specifying the template, I'm gonna go over here to upload a template. So prior to this video, I actually downloaded a template of a CloudFormation stack and a change set that I'm going to be working with throughout this video. So fortunately for us, I'm going to not have to create one from scratch, but I'm going to be using one here that I've already downloaded. All right, so going here. All right. So I'm going to choose this YAML file right here. All right, so this is my stack template. All right, so I'm going to go to next. All right, so let's see. I'm going to name this CFN dash stack. So it's a short for CloudFormation stack, and then I want to give it my user ID. So I'm gonna say, which is up here in the right hand corner, by the way. So I'm gonna say 56 169 135. All right. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that you can write CloudFormation templates in either YAML or JavaScript object notation, which is long for JSON. Both CloudFormation formats are supported by AWS to create certain resources. So you can actually convert JSON to YAML by using the CloudFormation Designer, FYI. All right, so continuing on, thought I'd just add that little note there. All right, hitting next. All right, we're going to keep everything default. Next. All right, and then I'm going to submit it. All right, we're going to have to give it a few seconds here to complete all the steps in order for it to create that stack for us. So what I can do is I can refresh the page just to check on the status of that. So let's hit reload. Okay, great. So it looks like looking at the status here, its creation was complete. All right. So the next thing that we need to do is to create a CloudFormation change set. So what a CloudFormation change set, what that is something that allows us to preview how a stack would be affected by a new or updated CloudFormation template before those changes are actually applied. All right. So it'll let us essentially test that out. So in order to do that, I'm going to go up here to stack options. All right. And then I'm going to choose this option right here, create a change set. All right. So I'm going to choose the option to replace existing template. All right. And like I said before prior to this video, I actually downloaded a template of a change set. All right. So I'm going to hit upload here and then choose the file, which is in JSON format. All right. Believe that is here. Yep. All right. Hit a next. All right. So we'll leave that the same. All right. So this is where now now we're defining our EC2 instance and the S3 bucket that's going to be created when we launch this. All right. So let's see. I'm going to name my EC2 instance. Let's see. Let's name it challenge EC2, and then we want to give it my user ID here, which is 56169,135. And I could copy that. I'm gonna tie that to the S3 bucket as well that we're going to create. All right, scrolling down here, and I'm going to name this challenge S3 bucket. All right, give it the user ID there. All right, so I'm gonna click next. All right, I'm gonna leave everything here the same on the default. On to the next page, and then just reviewing everything. Everything here looks good. So I'm gonna create change set, the same as last time. We're just gonna have to give it a few seconds to go through creation. Oh, actually, no, it automatically did it. All right. So if we look down here, we can see the changes that I added to that template, and that was to add this challenge EC2 instance and also this challenge S3 bucket. And all of that was in that downloaded change set that I uploaded and to add to our template. All right, so I'm going to execute the change set so that goes into effect. All right, everything looks good here. It's just defining if there's a failure to roll it back, and we're going to use the deletion policy here. All right, so we're going to execute that. All right, now this is where maybe we're going to have to wait a few seconds. All right, so we can see that the status here is update in progress. So I'm gonna give it a few seconds here and then refresh to see where things are. Okay, let me see. Let me refresh this element right here instead of doing a whole page. Okay, so it looks like everything is complete. All right, so now I'm going to go into um, dealing with a little feature here called drift detection. But okay, so in order for me to properly use that, I need to make a change here to one of the elements within the template. So I'm going to make a change to the EC2 instance and see, and then we're going to be able to and making that change, we're going to be able to see if drift detection works. And I'll go into exactly what drift detection and everything is. But let's first make those changes to our EC2 instance. All right, so I'm gonna say go up here to the search bar and say EC2. All right, and choose it here. All right, and over here under the instances category, I'm going to choose instances. All right, so we can see here that our newly created EC2 instance that was created once we implemented that change set is currently running. So I'm going to check off this box here. There we go. All right. Oh, hold on. Let me do that again. All right. There we go. All right. And so I'm going to go to actions here and go to security. And I'm going to change the security groups. All right. So I'm going to alter it. All right. So we see that um, there's already a particular security group assigned to it by default. I'm going to remove this security group. And then I'm going to assign the default security group to it. All right. And I'm going to click add security group. And I'm going to save that. All right. So now that I made that change, now it's time to check if the cloud formation drift detection if it works and how it works. All right. So then to give a brief overview of exactly what the drift detection is within CloudFormation, it's a feature within AWS CloudFormation that will allow me to identify when the actual configuration of resources in our AWS environment deviates from the expected configuration as defined in their original templates. All right, so basically the template that I originally used for this, it already had its defaults in there. And so basically what this is going to do and tell us, hey, has there been any changes, has anything deviated from the baseline, those baseline configurations that were already set in that template. All right, and so in order to do that, I'm gonna go back to CloudFormation. I'm going back up here to the search bar up here. All right, choose it. All right, now we can see our stack that I made in the beginning of this video. So I'm going to select that, and go over here to stack actions. This time I'm going to go to detect drift, click on that. All right. And then I'm going to go to stack actions again, and then I'm going to go to view drift results. All right, now that I'm in here, it's telling me it's not checked, so I'm going to click detect stack drift. And let's see if, even though it says modified here, so it did do something, but I want this status to change too. So I'm gonna hit detect stack drift. Okay, now we can see that this is aligned with that. So now this status has changed from not ran to drifted. All right, so it's detecting that there was a change within the parameters of that template that I'm using from the original default baseline. So in order to dive into exactly the details of that to make sure it's picking up on the right thing, and we can see all the other aspects of it here. Everything else appears to be the same or fine. All right, so I'm gonna click on this, and this is the parameter that is saying it's found that it was modified, and I'm going to I'm going to click view drift details. All right, and we can see here that it's identifying the security groups, and the change is not equal, so the expected value is the one that was actually the security group that was actually in the template by default, and instead the current security group is the default security group set here in AWS. So it's showing you the before and the after, and it's showing you the differences here, and the differences is on this line right here, and it's identifying those things. All right, so it looks like that the drift feature is working, and this is how it works. This is how you would be able to check if everything in your template that you're using um, is still has those default parameters if you want it to run with those default parameters, and even if you don't, for you just to be able to track those changes to show what is the difference between what the default of that template, that CloudFormation template was, compared to now what changes that you've applied, and making sure that the changes that you wanted to apply are actually there, and the defaults are actually still intact that you want to be intact. So just as some bonus content here, what if we wanted to delete a stack? All right, so I'm going to go back here to stacks. All right, so we got our stack here selected. So simply you would just select the stack you want selected. I'm gonna hit delete. I'm gonna confirm that yes, I want it deleted. And like every other action that I've taken in this video, you just got to give it some time. It's let me know that it started the process um, of deleting the stack, and it should. I'm gonna just reload this every so often just to see if that disappears. This is delete in progress. So that brings me to the end of the video here. Just pretty simple and straightforward. So I wanted to give a high level summary of everything that I did here. So I managed to open CloudFormation template in CloudFormation Designer. Actually, I did that prior to this video, but I was able to use those templates then to create a CloudFormation stack, and then I created a CloudFormation change set to apply to that stack in order to create that EC2 instance and that S3 bucket, and then I made changes to our EC2 instance, and then was able to successfully detect the drift from the original default parameters of that template using CloudFormation drift. And then as we can see now, if you were looking at the screen here, that template has disappeared, so I was able to successfully delete a CloudFormation stack. So please like, share, and subscribe. Most importantly, show your work. And until next time, take care of yourself, and God bless.